Veterans Day was this past Friday, and as with every Veterans Day, we honored those who have served this country, as well as those who have fallen. We found an exhibit at the Strategic Air and Space Museum, which honors a veteran who served for 2 countries. This man's name? Joe Beyrle, a hero of 2 nations. Matt Anderson, Facilities and Grounds Manager for the museum, tells us what Beyrle's job was in the U.S. Army.
He was a paratrooper, and he was also taught as a demolitions expert. And so he got the nickname of Jumpin' Joe Beyrle because he liked to jump out of airplanes.
Paratroopers had to meet a certain jump requirement before they could go into combat. Anderson tells us how Beyrle met this requirement and made some extra cash as well.
As the story goes, was very interested in jumping as many times as he could, and the other fellow paratroopers would pay, and I believe it was $5 a jump.
Brian York, curator of exhibits and collections for the museum, tells us about the awards that Beyrle received from his time in the U.S. Army.
He received obviously many awards on the Allied side from the U.S. A lot of those were very common to airborne infantrymen. On the other side were a lot of awards presented to him by the Soviet Union. The majority of those were presented well after the war.
Beyrle passed away in 2004 and is buried with honors at Arlington National Cemetery. Beyrle is the only documented soldier to have fought for 2 nations in World War II. For the Omaha News, I'm Jacob York.